Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. I believe it is Sunday. Um, just ran in from the back, so I'm kind of trying to play catch up here, but I got everybody can join us. We got Leo just showed up here. Got an email that my swing will be analyzed. Do I need to drop it in here in the chat, or will it be featured from what I previously uploaded? It will be featured, Leo. So that submission that you did submit online, it goes straight to a feeder and it pulls everything out. It's a lot easier than what we used to do. So yeah, so don't worry about it. Don't resubmit it. It'll just be whatever you featured. Other than that, if you are new to the show, you want your swing analyzed, you can send it down in the job form below on the link in the description, and it will go into a system. And right now we've reached our 6 students, so we went live. And as soon as we get up to 6 more, we just go live again, and we just keep doing it however many people want to submit it. And it's not necessarily a lesson. It's just some things I see. You're going to have an area for your notes, and we'll just give you the best advice that we can based on what we can do. So first up, we have Victor. Victor's on the screen, and Victor's in the room. And if you have any questions, let me know. Victor's been playing for just over a year. Haven't had any lessons, just learning from online. I was just getting to low 90s consistently, but about a month and a half ago, I seem to have lost my swing with my irons and wedges. First clip is my irons when I was hitting it well. Second clip is with my swing currently. It just feels like I keep getting under the ball, and I just goes way right with no distance. I'm sorry I have no face on recordings. Okay, no problem. Face on does help a lot. So I know that when you go to the range, most of us can only take down the lines just because you got people hitting next to you and you don't want to, create some injuries out there. But if you can just submit a face on, somehow find it, even if it's when you're playing golf. Just set up a little camera, face on, because it really, really tells a lot. It tells ball position, how you adjust for that ball position in your swing. And ball position is hard to see from this down the line other than, distance from the ball to you. But if it's face on, you can see where you're playing that ball position and how you need to control your center point. And that's the most overlooked thing I see in golf swings is nobody pays attention to the front. They always keep falling in love with this down the line. And obviously for good reason, because you can't get a face on sometimes. Awesome. Thank you. You're welcome. Hello from France. Dijon. Is that mustard? Hello from France. What's up? I don't know how to say that name. GM Masiak. GM Masiak. Am I saying that right? Hopefully. Okay, let's take a look at this. Now, off the bat, we can see there might be some balance issues, specifically for the one on the left. You can see that the weighting is falling more towards the toes as you come on through, possibly running out of space. One on the left, I'm assuming the one on the left is the better one when he was sent it. I couldn't distinguish which one was the first and this is the second. I'm assuming the one on the right is the better one. So let's just take a look at some lines here, draw some basic lines. And even if you don't submit your swing on here, you can always just get an idea of what to look for on your golf swing just to see cause and effect. Let's go a little bit further back to here. All right. And we get some basic lines for you to look at. Yeah, we can see this one's a little bit crashy. And this one, yeah, setup's different, completely different. Okay. Let's take a look at this. All right, tilting's doing okay. Doing a good job tilting. And we look for that tilting. You can see it's pretty perpendicular to that spine angle, so we're not losing much tilt. I like the length of the swing. I really do. I like the way the hands are staying out in front of the chest. They're not going back to no man's land, but you can see the difference. Okay, we recontour pretty good. There's a little bit steep. Yeah. Okay, well, you can see, this is definitely setup based and controlling your centeredness. So if you draw the Barney purple line back here and back here, we can see the centeredness of the spine angle and also your plane. The one on the left is out in front of the centeredness of your feet. The one on the right is behind the centeredness of the feet. So this will play an issue. Now, if you notice the one on the left with the weight being towards the toes, if you don't compensate that somehow, if you don't shift your weight to your heels, you might start to move into the golf ball as you take that backswing. And that's going to create some issues because we see as we take that club back, once we come on through, you notice how the head is moving a little bit more into the golf ball. So he's pulling into it, and it gets a little steep as a result, because if you're moving this way, in order to compensate this move, you'd have to figure out a way to drop your hands under to accommodate that. So we see that at least the one on the right side, we're getting a pretty decent angle. The one on the left side, we're coming in steep and we're going to remain steep. So there's that steepness. Oops. And there's that steepness again. So I would look at your setup first of all. Now, who knows? The one on the right side might have been the bad one. The one on the left side might be the good one. I don't know which one's which. So that's a problem. But if you're looking at your own swing, you've got to look at, what's causing what. And if your motion's moving towards your toes, that could affect your rotation. And we see the one on the left, watch the follow through. There's not much rotation, specifically the upper body, which the one on the right, look how much more that upper body gets through because he's probably more centered. And when you're centered, now you can move like an athlete, but when you're fighting that centeredness, that's where you're going to run into some issues. So, Victor, I hope that helps you. And if you can get a face on, like just send me a face on too, so I can help you out with the face on, because it could also be ball position. The one on the left side does look like that ball position is pretty far off your back foot, so that could also explain some things. So I hope that helps you, Victor. All right, Victor is out. Let's delete that one. Let's, first of all, load up this video. We've got Wally coming up. Let's put Wally's video here. Yes. Where'd it go? Golf swing 4. There you are. All right. Did it move in there? Slowly but surely we're going to get there. Okay, there he is. All right, we got 2 and 1. This is perfect. If you guys can do this for me, that'd be awesome. Like sync it up and just crop them together. Perfect. All right, Wally, let's see. If you're on, let me know. You can ask me questions. If you have questions after this, just leave it in the comments. I'll get back to you. Hey, Tony, love the content and your analysis of swings. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I've learned a lot just from them. Here's a little about myself. Playing for 10 years with an 8-year break. No lessons aside from tips here and there. I learned mostly from the Tom Watson's Lessons of a Lifetime DVD that my uncle gave me. And Tom Watson has one of my favorite swings. I actually got to caddy for Tom Watson for 18 holes. That was pretty impressive. Body limitations, none really flexible. Yeah, I can tell. Look at that flexibility there. Got some wrist issues, strained wrist. Nothing too alarming here. Current ball flight issues, no steady ball flight. It tends to be a slice right on mishits. Good contact is either left or baby small fade. So we might have some plane issues. Never carried a handicap, never broken 100 on 18 holes. I can shoot 2 to 3 pars in a row, but then blow up with a few 10s out of bounds. Backswing has always been odd, and I really want to change it. I'm not sure if I'm trying to preset the club on my inside. I don't know how to drop it inside from upright on playing position. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the natural move, first of all. I say it's a pretty good natural move. For not having any lessons and just kind of self-teaching yourself, it's pretty good. I see you do a pretty good job remaining in your spine angle on the right side. There is a little bit of loss of tilting at the top, but then you do a good job of reconnecting yourself and regathering that tilt. So I see a lot of promise here. I do see what you mean with that backswing being a little unusual. There's nothing wrong with unusual backswings. It's all compensation based. Every tour swing on the planet that has ever lived, it's all compensation based. There's no methods with those guys. They just do it much better than you or I. All right, let's slow this down real quick. Yeah, I'll tell you what. If you just limit, you can see your hands have to catch up. If you just limit the disconnection of your hands and arms, let's draw some real basic lines here. Man, what's wrong with my setup? Looks a little bit touchy. So there's that forward press. So back ball will give you some issues. Even if you sequence correctly, the ball position is going to move further back because everything will carry over left. With an iron, you're trying to swing down. So you want that center point to remain ahead of the golf ball. So the center point for you is basically the center of your spine, and you can see it starting out of the golf ball. Now, ideally, you want to carry that same angle and your whole body moving over so you get that centeredness even more ahead of yourself. Now, obviously, that's going to be not as upright because of the tilting of, excuse me, the drive of your hips will increase the tilt as well. So this is where that back ball position could create an issue, because now all of a sudden, if you sequence correctly and your center point is here, look how far back your ball position is. Now your hands have to throw. So you can see as you get down into impact, you're trying to sequence. There goes on that left hip. The center point stays kind of where it is, but look at the hands. The hands have to throw, and you can see that release of the right hand. So this is probably where a lot of your misses are stemming from, is that last second, throw with the hands. And I'm looking at your plane, and the right side, the plane doesn't look too bad. You can see it gets, pretty much inside. It's probably more inside than you would like, but that could just be the disconnection. The hands are so far behind the body as it's rotating through, they will fall down quicker, but then that's going to get your hands to be more involved anyway. So you've got two things causing your hands and arms to just save itself. Impact position here looks really, really good though. Look at your body. When your body's staying down through, your back brace line's really good. Your tilting is going back under. So you've lost some shoulder tilt, but now you regather the shoulder tilt. But it's just ball position number one, and then also the disconnection of the hand. So at the top of your swing here, this is all cause and effect for you. There's a lot of rotation. Now, if you take a look at that rotation, you're forming the T, which is nice, but the loss of shoulder tilt, which is this, is allowing you to over rotate. So once you get to the starting position here, you need to pay close attention to this. There's your spine angle. You would like your shoulder tilting to be more perpendicular to that at the top of your swing. So you can see it stays perpendicular there, right there. And then from this point on, we start to come up and out to get more turn. And now our tilting has lost pretty big amounts. And if anytime you start raising that left shoulder up, you are also standing up. And when you stand up, you're coming out of your posture. It's a lot easier to turn because you don't have anything keeping you in the foundation of your setup. So this was me and you working, I would be doing a couple things, moving that ball position so it's not that far back, maybe just in the center here, so you have a slight forward press, let the arms, get that little bit of forward press to allow you to turn and tilt naturally. And then secondly, this is where the backswing for your turn should stop there. Get those hands a little bit higher. And obviously it's going to be a lot shorter, your backswing. But let's say from this point, this face on, there should be the stop of your swing on the left side of your backswing. Because if you take a look, the hands and arms are still perfectly out in front of the chest. Now, yeah, you probably need to get a little bit higher. So they go from this primary plane line to the secondary plane line up here to create the room to drop down naturally. But at least, if this is where your top of your position is and the club is there, look where it is now. I mean, it goes way back. So all this is what you're having to time down at impact with a lot of rotation that you don't really need. So this is where you're getting all these misses. This is probably why you can't really rely on a miss, or you can't really build your game around a miss, because you miss it all over the place. So there's no real way to build a miss. So give that a try. Let me know how it goes. Let me catch up here. Hello. Love these live events. Thanks, Bloody Soup. Appreciate you. Hello, Tony. I'm on. Can't wait. Perfect. Let me know when you're on, and you can ask me anything. So I hope that does help you, Wally. And thanks for the support. Appreciate it. If you have any comments later on when you watch it, just let me know. All right, let's try this again. So hopefully we don't have any other glitches. All right, Wally is out. Let's see, Gordon. Gotta move this to there, this to there, this to there, and hopefully this is Gordon. All right, something went wrong. Swing catalyst needs to exit. Oh, that's not good. Did this thing just crash on me? Yep, it crashed on me. All right, little technical glitch. Let's see if it might be his video. So we're going to reload Swing Catalyst and try this one more time. The videos aren't that big. All right. You probably can't see it on your screen, but the swing catalyst is loading up again. Let's find it here. Okay, there's me in a big screen. Share screen. Window. Is this it? Nope. Nope. All right, let's try one more thing. Okay, find it on task. Do I have it on task here? All right, this is the last hurrah. This could be a very short stream if this doesn't work. This has happened one time before when I was on stream and somebody's video crashed swing catalyst and I had to stop the stream. All right, let's see it. Can it do it now? No, it's not showing it. Well, great stream, everybody. Got 2 people in. So unfortunately, I can't share it on my StreamYard. Once it crashes once, I've got to reboot everything. So Gordon, Mike, Leo, and John, you'll be on the next stream. I don't know when that'll be. I'm going to try and do it fairly soon. But I do have an appointment today at 7, so I can't get it done today. But for everybody that joined, I'm sorry. This stuff just happens. Other than that, if you have any questions right now, I can stick around for a few minutes. If you have any questions about golf swings or life in general, just don't ask me anything too important. Anybody playing golf? No? Yeah, bloody. Dang, it is right. So I don't know what caused it because I can look at the video here. Let's see if it'll. Yeah, I can watch the video here. And I can watch this video here. Oh, it's the second video. All right, so the second video is corrupt. So that's what did it. Leo, apologize, man. Technology always works until it doesn't. Yeah. You're just too sexy. Crash the stream. Yeah, I wish that was the case. All right, Leo. I'm going to try my best to get on this week for you guys. Leo, John, Mike, and Gordon. Anybody else that wants to swing submission, go in the link down below. It's only going to be these 4 left. We had 6, but we got 4. I know I had too many shots. I'll have to send the video. I heal. Yeah, go ahead. Come on, bloody. Send it in. But other than that, I appreciate your support. I come up with more videos this week. I've got those what do you call it, rangefinders that I'm going to send out on Monday. So all those winners. And I've got some leftovers too. I might have to do a second draw. And I've got another one. Where is it? I've got another one somebody sent me to give away. This one's a nice one. Golfia Pro. This one's got, you know, the ones I did before didn't have the red light, but this one's got red and green light. So this is a good one. So I might give that away. Actually, I will give it away. I just don't know when. So I've got more rangefinders to give away. But other than that, hope you guys have a good week. Go Dodgers. I know some of you are not Dodger fans, but go Dodgers. I'll see you next time. Berries and Greens.